Dear children, so let me continue with that last session. So, why does the distilled water not conduct electricity, whereas rainwater does? Because in distilled water there is no ions is there, so it will not conduct electricity. Whereas in rainwater, it's having the ions such as acids are there. So from that it will conduct the electricity. Why do acids not show acidic behavior in the absence of water? So what is the reason? Because it will not having the ions, hydrogen ions is there. If absence of water means in acids there is no hydrogen ions is there. So acids do not show acidic behavior in the absence of water because the dissociation of hydrogen ions from an acid occurs in the presence of water only. It is the hydrogen ions that are responsible for the acidic behavior. So if we take hydrochloric acid, if we add water, so that means that times only it will dissociate. But if we not add water, it will not dissociate. So for acidic character, the hydrogen ions is much more important. For acidic character, the hydrogen ions is important. For that we need water. If we add water means the acids will dissociate. So from that it will form the hydrogen ions. So that hydrogen ions are responsible for the acidic behavior. And base reaction with water. So bases. In bases, when we add water, it will form the alkali solution. Alkali. So the base produce hydroxide ions in water. So if the acid is treated with water means it will form hydrogen ions, that is H plus ions. If the bases is treated with water, it will form hydroxide ions. Hydroxide means OH minus ions. So for example, here there are three examples there. So in first one we have to take sodium hydroxide. So NaOH. So when the sodium hydroxide is treated with water, it will dissociate into sodium ions and hydroxide ions. And if we take potassium hydroxide, so the potassium hydroxide formula is KOH. So it's treated with water. It will dissociate into potassium ions and hydroxide ions. So in both cases, the sodium, the valency is 1. So plus 1. In hydroxide, the valency is 1. So here it's minus 1. And here also the potassium, its valency is plus 1. And for hydroxide, its valency is minus 1. Here we take magnesium hydroxide. So magnesium, Mg, the valency for magnesium is 2. So the magnesium hydroxide formula is MgOH twice. When it is treated with water, it will dissociate into two ions. One is it will dissociate into two ions. One is magnesium ions, that is Mg2 plus. So 2 plus indicates the valency and hydroxide ions, that is OH minus, it will come at the top. So 2 molecules of hydroxide, that is 2 OH minus. And next, alkalis. So the term alkali means bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. Bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. So which bases are soluble in water? Yes, strong bases. Strong bases are soluble in water. So for example, sodium hydroxide, NaOH, potassium hydroxide, KOH. So these are all the example for alkali. So when sodium hydroxide plus water, we can tell it as alkali solution. And KOH plus water. So these also we can tell it as alkali solution. So bases which are soluble in water are called alkali. And characteristics of alkali. See the characteristics of alkali. So alkali are soapy to touch. They are bitter and corrosive. So alkali are soapy to touch. So if we touch the alkali solution, it will be soapy. And they are bitter and corrosive. So general reaction between acids and bases. So HX. So the HX. So this one indicates it's acid. And MOH, it's base. So when acid is treated with base, it will form salt. Salt plus water, H2O. So here when we take hydrochloric acid example, HCl plus base, we take sodium hydroxide. So what does it form? It forms salt. It forms sodium chloride plus water. So this is the general reactions for acids and bases. And next activity is we have to take 10 ml water in a beaker. Add a few drops of concentrated H2SO4 to it and fill the beaker slowly. So what does it happens? We have to take a 10 ml water in a beaker. In that we have to add concentrated sulfuric acid. So simultaneously we have to fill the beaker slowly. So the question is, touch the base of the beaker. Is there a change in temperature? If we touch the base of the beaker, we can feel the heat. Because what type of reaction it is? Yes, It's exothermic reaction. So exothermic reaction means the heat is evolved. So here the temperature is rises. The temperature rises because the dissolution will be taking place. And the next question is this an exothermic or endothermic process? So temperature is evolved means it's exothermic reaction. So endothermic means heat is absorbed. So what type of reaction it is? Yes, it is exothermic reaction. So dissolution of acid in water is an exothermic reaction. And add sodium hydroxide pellets to 10 ml water in a beaker. What do you observe? So when we add sodium hydroxide pellets, so what is the formula for sodium hydroxide, children? Yes, NaOH. So when we add sodium hydroxide pellet in your water, so what does it do you observe? Here also, if we touch the base of the beaker, the temperature it will be rises. The temperature of beaker increases as sodium hydroxide dissolves in water. So what type of reaction it is? Yes, it is exothermic reaction. And next is, so acid must be added to water, not vice versa during dilution. So we have to add acid to the water during dilution. So we should always add acid slowly to water. So we have to add acid only to the water, not water to the acid. So keeping the solution continuously stirred. So we have to continuously stir the water when we add acid. So while preparing dilute solution of acid like nitric acid and sulfuric acid, so we have to add acid in the water. If water is added to acid, so much heat produced during the dilution process that the container may break. So if we add water to the acid, so if the acid is there, acid is here, so if we add water to that, so what does it forms? The energy, it will be produced, very high energy it will be produced, lot of heat energy will be produced. So from that it will leads to burst the beaker. So the beaker it will breaks. So to avoid the explosion, we have to add water. We have to take the water. So in that water only we have to add acid with continuous stirring. So if we continuously stirring means the heat energy it will be reduced. If we not able to stir means the heat energy it will not reduced. So to reduce the heat energy we have to continuously stir the water. So the hot contents may also cause an explosion and spill on our clothes and body. So the explosion will be taking place when we add water is added to the acid. So better we have to add acid slowly to the water. Okay children, see you on next session.